Morning, Facebook. We're just waiting on Instagram to join us. Morning, Instagram. How's it going?
Good morning.
Geez, that's a bit slower, isn't it? It's not a bad morning out there, to be fair, today. There was a lot of rain around last night, and we'll see heavy showers at times today, but it should stay mainly dry. Kind of cloudy, but should stay mainly dry. There's no cold there either. It's going to be up around maybe 13 to 16 in places today, so it's quite mild again, which is nice.
It's really mild, because I was wearing my puffer jacket this morning when I left the house, and I was like, oh, I'm way too warm. The second I left the house, I was nearly colder in the house, which was kind of weird. Yeah, it's lovely out there. Let's have a look at some of the big stories in the papers this morning. Shane Lowry pictured on the front page of the Irish Examiner today. A lot of talk about the Irishman ahead of Augusta later this week. Shane Lowry with his daughter Ivy pictured during the traditional par 3 contest prior to the Masters at Augusta National. So lovely photo there of Shane. Also in the Irish Examiner today, cancer survival rates in Ireland are unlikely to improve due to the current rate of underfunding. Warning made by the Irish Cancer Society yesterday. And sweeping changes to Europe's immigration policies have been condemned by Amnesty International. They say they're shameful. A missed vital opportunity on packed vote, Amnesty says, is the headline there in the Irish Examiner today.
The Shane Lowry photograph on the front page of the Irish Times is more like the Andrew Morrissey golf photograph, with Shane Lowry trying to strike a ball from behind a tree.
Oh, nice.
That's more the Andrew shot there now. Harris to raise case for Palestinian recognition in Brussels. A group of EU states will put, they're going to put forward the motion that we mentioned this yesterday about recognising Palestine as a state. That's on the front page there. An asylum system overhaul to follow EU vote, like Elaine just mentioned there. The number of Palestinians, for instance, seeking asylum in Ireland has increased sharply recently. Again, probably not that surprising either. That's in the Irish Times today.
More on migration issues on the front page of the Star today, where it's been claimed that €1 million a month is being spent to home Ukrainian pets here. The state paid up to €1 million a month for pets of Ukrainian war refugees to be cared for in hotels, is a headline in the Star today. And then some Champions League action last night. Last night finished up PSG 2, Barcelona 3. And Rob Kearney's pictured on the front page of the Star. Now, I haven't read the article, Andrew, so I've no context for it. But here's the headline. Well, firstly, there's a picture of Rob and his wife on their wedding day. And then it's a quote from Rob saying, "Wedding day, not even in my top 10. So the only thing I can imagine is they asked Rob about the greatest days of his life, and he didn't include his wedding day.
Yeah, I question whether that was said in jest. And yeah, that's our headline. We're running with that.
If that's the case, it's so mean.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, because this has happened before. Somebody's like, yeah, that was a joke. But, I haven't read the article either, so I don't know.
Let's not read it. Let's just go with it.
The Irish Daily Mail this morning, 440,000 more cars on the roads, yet 400 fewer Gardaí. A reduction of 40% of officers policing roads is labelled as unacceptable. That's the main story on the front page. And Zendaya's picture there, Zendaya's court date. Hollywood star stuns at the premiere of her new tennis flick. That's also in the Daily Mail this morning.
Zendaya's everywhere at the moment. I know nothing about that film, but every time I go online, I'm seeing pictures of her. And she's kind of ageless, isn't she? Sometimes I see pictures of her and I'm like, is that Zendaya 7 or 8 years ago? She's a real chameleon, isn't she?
It says that she's 27 on the headline there, and I went, oh, is she? I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, she's...
If you'd said she was 32 or you said she was 17, I'd have gone, oh, yeah, they both make perfect sense.
Yeah.
But she doesn't look really like... Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, yeah. And her look, she changes up her look. I really like her, actually. She's cool. Now, what's trending on X today? The Taoiseach trending. Opposition not happy. He wasn't in the Dáil for leaders' questions on his first day yesterday. But he was in his office, or in an office, making very important phone calls to world leaders, which is something that a new leader of a country has to do. That's standard practice.
Yeah.
So...
Also, by the way, it was announced at 7 o'clock the day before, there will be no leaders' questions tomorrow, or at least there will be no leaders' questions with Simon Harris. That was not a shock to anybody yesterday, but I think the opposition just kind of went, we'll get him. We'll get him.
Yeah. And then another story I just mentioned that's in the front pages of the papers today, the Barcelona-PSG match. Finishing up 3-2 to Barcelona. That's trending as well. People chatting about that on X today.
Happy Eid is trending as well. It's the end of the Ramadan festival, or it's like a carnival atmosphere. Yesterday I was hearing for the end of Ramadan, and people of the Muslim faith were able to they don't eat during daylight hours. Is that how Ramadan works?
Yeah.
Eat or drink. So anyway, that ended yesterday, and Kerry are trending this morning. They won in the Air Grade Munster Under-20 football championship last night, beating Clare. That's also trending today.
Yeah, I remember. I can't remember what soccer match it was, maybe a year or two ago, and the ref blew the whistle. They obviously knew what time sunset was for the Muslim players to be allowed to get something small to eat. So it must be incredibly hard on athletes.
Yeah, I think that has happened before. I'm not sure what World Cup it was, but was it Brazil maybe?
Oh,
And I just remember, was it Fellaini for Belgium? Exactly the same thing. He hadn't eaten or drank all day, and they were taking water breaks anyway, and they had taken a second water break for exactly that reason, so that the Muslim players could basically get a drink of water. So yeah, I mean, I totally understand and respect that that's their faith and their belief, but for a high functioning elite athlete, that must be very difficult. Absolutely.
We are live in a few minutes on Radio Kerry, so do join us for a busy show coming up. Looking forward to it. You can contact us by texting or WhatsApping the show once we get underway, or leave a comment here.
Have a good day.
Bye bye.
Good luck.